welcome to the fake news with G-Luv. I am Elvis Einstein, and I agree with everything G-Luv says.
Good evening. Let me get right to the point. Israel are the bad guys. You can tell pretty easily just listening to the people that support them, the way they talk, and listen to the other side and just make your own mind up who's better human.
Position regarding a ceasefire. Just as the United States would not agree to a ceasefire after the bombing of Pearl Harbor or after the terrorist attack of 9/11, Israel will not agree to a cessation of hostilities with Hamas after the horrific attacks of October 7th. Calls for a ceasefire are calls for Israel to surrender to Hamas, to surrender to terrorism, to surrender to barbarism. That will not happen. Ladies and gentlemen, the Bible says that there is a time for peace and a time for war. This is a time for war, a war for our common future. Today we draw a line between the forces of civilization and the forces of barbarism. It is a time for everyone to decide where they stand. Israel will stand against the forces of barbarism until victory.
What did Barbie do?
I hope and pray.
Left Gaza. They took out all the Israelis. They turned the keys over to the Palestinian people. And what happened? Hamas took over Gaza. So instead of having a thriving economy with the kind of opportunities that the children of the Palestinians deserve, we have a terrorist haven that is getting more and more rockets shipped in from Iran and
What the fuck are you? I mean, what the fuck are any of you? But first tell me, what the fuck are you? Seriously, what the fuck are you?
This sounds like it was scripted and written with the sole purpose of just inspiring hate into people. I mean, listen to the language. I mean, how many times do you want to mention dead babies and raped grandmothers and just everything else that possibly could be horrible in human nature? And yeah, it wants to paint the picture of the other side as being not even human. So I don't buy that. I don't think any humans are like that. So this guy's full of shit. I would like to know just the thinking of these Hamas guys, what they think would happen after the October 7th incident. I mean, what they think Israel's going to do. I mean, I know that the media likes to portray that they don't care about their people, but that's bullshit. It's bullshit. Otherwise, why would they do it? It's like, yeah, it doesn't make sense. And the more likely scenario to me would be that the CIA is Hamas and they exist just for Israel to play the victims, so they can get away with genocide and whatever else they want to do. There is a reason for all this, and there's a reason why it's now. And here it is.
Just about 30 kilometers off the Gazan coast, is estimated to hold more than 1 trillion cubic feet of natural gas. Discovered over 20 years ago, the gas has remained untouched due to the ongoing conflict between Israel and the Palestinian enclave. But now, with the West looking for alternative energy sources after distancing itself from Russia following the invasion of Ukraine, all parties involved are willing to make new strides. In a statement earlier this morning, the Israeli Prime Minister's office citing economic reasons for the move.
In the framework of the existing efforts between the State of Israel, Egypt, and the Palestinian Authority, with emphasis on Palestinian economic development and maintaining security stability in the region, it has been decided to develop the Gaza marine gas field off the coast of Gaza.
Now listen to the Palestinian representative and see which side sounds more reasonable, do you think, to you?
Engage in peace talks with the Israelis.
You don't mean exactly peace talks, you mean capitulation, surrendering.
Why not just talk?
Talk to whom?
Talk to the Israeli leaders.
That's kind of conversation between the sword and the neck, you mean?
Well, if there were no swords and no guns in the room, you could still talk.
No, I had never seen any talk between a colonialist case and a national liberation movement.
But despite this, why not talk?
Talk about what?
Talk about the possibility of not fighting.
Not fighting for what?
Not fighting at all, no matter what for.
Yeah, people usually fight for something and they stop fighting for something. So you can't tell me even why should we speak about what?
Well, stop fighting.
For what? Or talk about stop fighting why?
Talk to stop fighting, to stop the death and the misery, the destruction, the pain.
The misery and the destruction and the pain and the death of whom?
of Palestinians, of Israelis, of Arabs,
of the Palestinian people who are uprooted, thrown in the camps, living in starvation, killed for 20 years, and forbidden to use even the name Palestinians.
they're better that way than dead, though.
Maybe to you, but to us, it's not. To us, to liberate our country, to have dignity, to have respect, to have our mere human rights is something as essential as life itself.
Both sides, but a lot will have to do with Israel and whether or not Israel wants to make the deal. As far as settlements, I'd like to see you hold back on settlements for a little bit. We'll work something out, but I would like to see a deal be made. It might be a bigger and better deal than people in this room even understand. That's a possibility. So let's see what we do.
Smart.
Doesn't sound too optimistic, but I was disappointed in Bibi just on a personal basis. I thought he wanted to make a deal more than Netanyahu. And I will be honest, I had a great meeting with him, Abbas, right? I had a great meeting with him. And we spent a lot of time together, talked about many things. And it was almost like a father. I mean, he was so nice. Couldn't have been nicer. And after meeting with Bibi for 3 minutes, I looked at him and said, "You don't want to make a deal, do you?" And he said, "Well, and the fact is, I don't think Bibi ever wanted to make a deal.
Why?
I thought the Palestinians were impossible, and the Israelis would do anything to make peace and a deal. I found that not to be true."
It's almost like the Ukraine war was like a prequel just to this, so people would see the double standard and go to war. They're trying to start a war. I mean, it's going to be a war, then a pandemic, and then another war, then a pandemic, and then another war. For the next 140 years until we've all been depopulated, which is the agenda behind all this shit that's going on now. All this shit. Transgender kids don't have babies. They don't want people having babies. High abortion rates because they don't want people having babies. They drink the blood of babies. So basically, they just want the parts. Seriously.
Everybody's got their own expression. There ain't nobody up there, you play it hungry. Never been a battlefield in case the plane gets hijacked by hell terrorists.
So do you remember 9/11 when they found the passports of the terrorists just happened to be on the road, like after the plane just disintegrated into nothing, but they found the passports. Okay, well, keep that in mind, and then watch this. This is they stick to playbooks. These guys, it's just the same thing over and over again.
Found on the body of one of those sadistic villains. It's Al-Qaeda material, official Al-Qaeda material. We're dealing with ISIS, Al-Qaeda, and Hamas. This is what we're dealing with. And in this material, there were instructions how to produce chemical weapons. It speaks about...
This material was found? Are you sure it wasn't printed out? I mean, I'm not accusing you of anything, but this sure does look like material that was just, well, printed out online.
Anyway, Israel control the media machine and the military complex. So basically, you're going to see through this shit. Otherwise, they're just going to keep on steamrolling and get what they want, using America as their fucking strong right arm. Okay, anyway, that's enough of the Israel conflict in Gaza, poor Gaza. They'll take you out tonight with a little something from the founders of the WEF. They've jumped ship and they've turned to the side of the non-vaxxers now because they're going to die from vaccine injuries. So I'll take you out on that. This is the fake news with G-Luv. Ciao.
Humanity injection by a bioweapon injecting nanolipids into 5.7 billion people. We cannot tolerate any entity that promotes poison to be injected into humanity. But you've done it. I'm the victim, I'm dying from it. And my mother too. As a demo side, and you'll be judged. It will be corrected in the name of humanity.
Maybe there is a Geneva Swiss syndrome, but definitely there is a UN syndrome. Because people are so afraid of what's going on because the United Nations is occupied, that people in there don't understand. Those who understand keep quiet or try to speak in different ways to help people to wake up. So if you understand that, you know that this was very easy to carve a world government. If you don't have a force that stops that and says, we the people is more important.